everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Killed Cheese.
Do. Happy Tuesday.
Lyrics.
What we got today?
The story is by
Word?
this is I am _
Brudica.
Brudiku.
-2. That's what I said, girl.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Brudiku. Okay. And this is called The Abandoned Mall That Led to a Different Existence.
Ooh. Could be good, could be bad. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll see. Everybody told me that I was an explorer when I was young. A kid that would go out of his way just to have that thrill of excitement to see the unknown. My parents loved that I was into exploring and not stuck inside playing video games or watching cartoons that aired during the time. Maybe during the daytime. Looking back at it, I'm actually kind of glad that my life took that route, even if the story I'm going to tell y'all would put off even the most dedicated what?
Words?
Most dedicated urbexers of my life.
Whatever that means.
All right.
Words.
It was about 9 o'clock at night when I was getting off of work. I had just finished a long and stressful shift at the end of the office job that barely gives me any thrills of being an adult. I stopped for gas along the way home at my local gas station that charges too much for gas, in my opinion, and by no one's surprise smelled horribly. It was known for having the weirdest of locals there at all forms of time, ranging from my age to even my parents' ages, which also meant that they liked to gossip. So on my fateful stop there filling up my gas tank, I overheard an older man telling his presumable friend about a story of an abandoned mall. My ears perked at the mention of an abandoned shopping mall that I hadn't heard about. Just a few hours away from here, he said. I'm not going to tell the location in fear that someone will find out where I live and that you, being as dumb as I, would try to set out to find this. After 10 minutes of listening and possibly getting strange looks from passersby, I decided to head off to this strange mall this weekend.
Of course.
Of course. Maybe it was an escape from the constant repetitiveness of my daily routine, but the day came and I took off to this famous mall that I had never heard of. Hours on the road and a few missed calls from some family members, and I finally found my way to this town. The town was nice, like a typical American suburban residential neighborhood. Had a few shops here and there, and even some big brand stores, if you could believe it. It's hard to imagine that an abandoned mall could be at a place like this and hadn't been destroyed recently. It didn't take long to get to the mall. It stood out like a sore thumb. The pavement of the parking lot was cracked and worn out, and years of wear and tear caused the parking lines to fade. Plants sticking out of the cracks, causing it to look like they did a horrible job at paving a garden rather than making it a parking lot. I parked in front of the eyesore and got out. I could smell the metal radiating its rust like an untouched mining cavern, if you could believe it. They really don't think that we believe it.
Nope. No, don't believe it. Fake.
From the looks of it, I couldn't get in because they had the front doors barricaded and possibly locked. I walked around the massive building trying to find an entrance of some sorts. Finding none, I realized that I had to make my own. I wasn't one for destruction of property, but who owned this? Would they care if I destroyed a window or two? Wouldn't they even know if I burned the building down? It doesn't really matter because they're either long dead or just not caring of this building, so eventually I broke a window to get in.
Okay.
Like a window. I'm sitting here thinking about the mall that we go to, and I don't really know that there are actually any windows to break.
The doors?
The doors have glass on them, but they said they were barricaded. I don't know. Window in a mall. It's odd. I took a couple swings with an old brick I found laying around. The smell was awful. If I thought the smell was bad outside, then the inside was 20 times worse. It smelled of rot and old moldy food, not to mention of stale water I couldn't see. It was almost like I was breaking into an old pool house. I walked in and turned on my flashlight on my phone. In hindsight, I should have brought a real flashlight, but I wasn't thinking that I would need it since I didn't know how big the building was. I looked around and saw some stores I'd never even heard of. The names were very odd, to say the least. Like one of them was called Home of the Sirens. I'm taking a shot in the dark here and say that they used to sell sirens, maybe for first responders or whatever the case was.
In a mall?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Weird.
I walked up to the glass window and peered inside. It was extremely dusty and dirty, but I could make out some things like boxes and an old cash register. I moved on, not wanting to disrupt their final resting place, and I saw a lot of areas where nice decorative plants would have been, and even some nice couches if you grew up in the 60s. I moved on and found myself in the food court. The lights were on, and I could even smell food like fried chicken and even pizza, a true food court staple. Why can you smell it Why can you smell the food in an abandoned mall?
Because it's moldy. They left it there.
But why would he be able to smell fried chicken and pizza?
Moldy fried chicken and pizza?
Over the rot. Speaking of rot, Frankie just farted something awful. Do you smell that?
Nope.
Oh my god. You're in for a treat.
Baby Frank.
That's bad. I walked up to the only counter with a light on, wondering why it smelled of food and why there were lights on. I chalked it to being a weird electrical issue and began to walk away, but that's when I heard my name being called.
Don't like that at all.
My name? No. I turned around and saw a random guy in a uniform staring at me. He had a big smile on his face. His name tag said his name was Chris. Chris kept on smiling at me and waited patiently for me to answer.
Weird.
What? I asked, a little freaked out. Chris kept on smiling at me and answered back with, "What can I get you, Chase?" Oh my God, how does he know my name? I thought to myself. I looked around, obviously freaked out and trying to find an escape if things get worse.
Obviously. Need to.
Join us, Chase. Join what you tried to escape, Chase. Join us in the pit, Chase. Damn. Join us in the pit.
The fuck is going on?
I looked back at him only to see his eyes were missing and still smiling. I didn't wait to hear what else he had to say because I ran. It was
Smart.
more of my body just moving on its own, but I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, I get that.
Join us in the pit, Chase.
Yeah, probably not.
I made my way past the decorative old plants in the store that was lost to time, sorry. I ran out of the mall and went straight to my car. Looking back when I made it, I saw that there wasn't even a mall. What was I in? What did I see? I didn't wait to find out because I jumped in and hightailed my way back home. The whole ride home was full of paranoia and a sense of ease, like I escaped danger. I tried to think about other things, like what the next day held for me, and am I going to get yelled at by my boss again? Getting back home after hours of trying not to think about it, I get a call on my phone from Mom. Thank God I can change the topic out of what I was thinking. I answer the call and hear, "Join us, Chase. Join us in the pit, Chase. You can't hide from what happened all those years ago." I throw my phone down, not caring if it broke and not caring if it broke or not. That's not correct. I take my keys out of the ignition. Running inside my house, I find myself back in the old abandoned shopping mall. I turn around and I see that my front door is replaced with the home of the siren shop. I couldn't do it anymore. What did I get myself into? So I'm writing this now to warn y'all. Do not, and I seriously mean it, do not go into abandoned malls. Please, someone save me. Join us, Chase. Join us in the pit, Chase.
It was kind of, what's that word? Anticlimactic. Nothing really. There's no, why am just there's no like ending. It's just like, help me. Okay. Don't go to the mall. Abandoned. No shit.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the comments? What we got?
Just the one great story. You should probably copy it and post it on the Reddit thread No Sleep too.
Oh, whatever. Well, alrighty. That was a Tuesday. But the mall. Don't go into many malls, I guess.
You probably shouldn't do that anyway.
You might get asked to join the pit.
Join us in the pit, Chase. Join us.
Okay. That's fun. We will see y'all on a Thursday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.